Hello! Welcome to Jade Kind Gaming presents The Observatory. My name is Adam, and today we're here for our Session 0 of what, at least for now, is the Wizard Foundation campaign. The idea of the first full game in the world of Amotra, which over on Jade Kind Gaming I have for a couple years been slowly going through building the world, and of course as of late preparing to finally play in the world. Things have gotten more intense, and a lot more has gotten done. But there's videos over there if you want information on the world in general, and just each step along the way of figuring it out. Today, we are preparing to make characters for the campaign, in which we will found wizardry within the world. But yeah, so let's get to that. And doing all this, we have Beth, Austin, Ryan, Bob, Nick, I'm Adam, making characters. Focused on wizards. This side of the table, I believe, is just all wizards. Over here, we have Nick, who has opted for one level of cleric for starting, and we'll just work that into how he gets into the campaign. And then he's going to go wizard from there. And Bob, what did you decide to play in our wizard campaign?
I cast Sword Strike. I'm a fighter. I cast ass whooping. It's hard to concentrate when someone's fist is hitting you.
Yeah.
Concentrate now!
So yeah. Again, we'll work it into the story. That's great.
It's fine.
Little chaotic, but is what it is. Let's go into
The Oops All Wizards campaign is no longer Oops All Wizards.
So
Someone got a fighter in my peanut butter.
we're just going with level 1, and everyone's already chosen their class.
Level 1.
Woo.
Has everyone determined their origin, background, and species?
Mm-hmm. I am going to be a scribe and an orc.
Anyone else?
I'm a soldier human.
Human scribe.
I'm human wizard, but I wanted to customize my origin.
Just immediately. Here, this rich, it's tasty.
Don't worry. I sent out a message yesterday just checking if anything else needed to be custom done.
Just wants to pick.
Just to make sure I wasn't surprised by anything.
I was like, at that point,
Listen, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
But what about Orion?
Ryan is much bigger than a ball.
Andy's sneaky.
So, what sort of origin are you wanting?
Because whatever custom origin is basically like, what is it? Origin feat, 2 skills, and like tool proficiency and stuff like that.
Yeah, but what's the background? Like, what are you wanting to?
Mad scientist.
Oh.
it's magic, man. There are no scientists.
Yeah,
I'm going
You're
with
a
science.
natural philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm I guess trying to get the vibe here. What are you?
Raising Dead, alchemy,
Okay,
lightning
so
strikes.
so the premise of the campaign is that we have magic, and for the most part, it makes no sense, or at least it only is kind of this vague feeling that everybody kind of goes by.
Yeah, I mean, basically, magic beforehand is either a gift granted by higher power,
Mhm.
paladins,
Clerics.
clerics, warlocks, making a bargain,
Mhm.
and that's how they've gotten magic. The world was created with music. There are bards that have figured out how to literally use the way that the world was created, the way that magic was originally designed into the world, and they play along with its rules. There are druids, though not on the continent that you are involved in, and then there are rangers, which both tie into nature and nature's ties with it, which is technically somewhat also getting it from divine sources.
Mm-hmm.
You are making wizards, which is the general concept of, okay, so this can be done. These bards are doing it with the music, but why does the music let it work? And reverse engineering it to work
Yeah,
and basically force it.
Finding out what the
But
fundamental...
I'm wondering what you mean by mad scientist for your background, because this is before you've done wizardry. This is before you've gotten... This is what you were doing before you got into it, is what the idea with the background is.
Yeah. So, the idea is that I was trying to... So, wizards are magical.
Okay.
And we're trying to find out what the fundamental rules of reality are, as far as, like, the actual kind of magical laws that reality plays by, so that it's a repeatable experiment.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of me being, whatever, a mad scientist, given that I kind of grew up in some sort of, like, kind of dream demi-plane or something along those lines,
Mm-hmm.
is that I also wanted to try to figure out...
We'll get to heroic catalyst and what he means by that later.
Yeah. That she was originally coming at the angle of trying to understand those kind of same kind of basic fundamental laws of the universe, but from the physical science portion of things. So trying to figure it out from the mundane angle, but then also by the time we're getting into having class levels, me also trying to figure it out from, okay, maybe there needs to be some sort of magical...
So, scholar or scribe,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I don't want either of those backgrounds because I looked at them and didn't want them.
Is it just the feat that you dislike?
Um...
Because I'm much happier if you find one that, in general, you fit that and you just swap out different origins.
I would want to swap the origin feat and also have the whatever alchemist tool proficiency.
And the tool proficiency? Yeah, I'm fine with that too. If you're fine with the skill and ability scores tied to one of them, then yeah.
Scribe would give you that. Scribe gives you 3 skills or tools. I mean, that's what it gives you. It gives you the skilled feat. So you pick 3 skills or tools.
Okay, so
But he wants to use a different feat.
yeah, so I swap out the skilled feat to get rid of that part.
Yeah, and then swap out the calligrapher's supplies for... Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do that. Okay. Because, yeah, it's really more with that, but yeah, a little more custom version of one of those is easier to play around with.
Right.
Human, and then... I'm sorry, Austin. Got distracted as I was reading. You were dwarf and...
Half-dwarf.
Half-dwarf, which is dwarfs as in...
Regular dwarf.
Regular dwarves are half-dwarves. In a world where dwarves are made of the minerals and metals that make up the world itself. And then, other than that, we do each have a heroic catalyst, which is a new thing for games here in Amotra. Heroic catalyst, in general, is what makes their characters work normal, for one. Magic doesn't restore as much hit points to non-heroic people. So in other words, NPCs, etc., magic's not going to heal them as much. They're not going to be as likely to be able to return from the dead, or be like, have curses removed from them, be healed of blindness. That doesn't just 100% work on all the NPCs, because otherwise things like, there are blind people in this world, when there's a cure blindness, deafness spell, is terrible. But for people that aren't heroes, aren't of the heroic ability, sometimes it just doesn't work. You know, you got a chance of it working. The spell might work on them, but not always. For player characters, it's always going to work just as it is supposed to, because otherwise, I don't want you to be stuck blind forever because you roll a bad dice and be like, okay. But it also gives a array of abilities that are similar in power to a feat at levels 1, 5, 11, and 17. And we will start with Ryan, who's already mentioned it, who is going to be one of the Godborn. Think of it like Hercules. Basically, there's a tier of, the Primordus god that made 3 gods below, that created all of the gods and peoples of the world, and then those gods have created almost like empowered saints or lesser gods below them, and then Ryan is going to play a character that is descended from Shamir, the goddess over dreams.
Oh, I didn't pronounce it that way. In my head, it was pronounced chimera.
Sure. Either way, it's a name.
Yes.
Names don't matter. Only gods matter.
So,
Well, it's the name of the god. Well,
so
how is
that is hence the tie to the growing up, living in dreams, basically with some sense of control over dreams from that lineage.
I'm the granddaughter.
I took noble.
Comes from a noble family.
Look at how important I am. I am literally better than those peasants.
I took Outworlder. So my character is descendant from Naya and our Getting the Band Back Together character, where this world was introduced. She is the granddaughter, and she was, from outside of Amotra, and
She
so
hooked up with.
yeah. She married an orc. She fell in love, and they had a cute little, half orc, half elf family, and then her daughter also married an orc, and now we got Naya, or Calliope. That's my character's name. Yeah.
Naya was the last character you played.
Naya was the last character I played. It's so confusing.
Just don't crash to the ground over there.
I don't know. I'm going with different fair thoughts through my head, but I'm guessing a specific Calliope fell.
It's Blinded by the Light.
Yeah, okay.
Man for Man band.
Yeah. Austin, did you stick with second generation sorcerer?
Yeah.
So basically having some sorcerer-like powers added on, just, a little weaker of sorcerer blood, but sorcery magic's in the blood, same thing, descended from. I give you a couple. What did you end up deciding to go with?
I didn't get any.
You've had a couple sent to you on Discord.
I don't check Discord unless you tell me I need to check Discord.
Through a text message.
Yes, because I don't have notifications set up on Discord.
Okay.
I haven't looked at any of it, and I can't now. Give me.
So Bob is still deciding.
Did you put it in the thing, or did you send it?
It's
privately?
in your chat.
Well, that'll be slightly
But if
harder.
you have the document, they're also in there.
The-
So the two options that are in the if he's
Wizard
downloaded
Foundation.
in the Wizard Foundation for the Amotra document, the two heroic catalysts that I made possible for you are Son of a Soldier, and let's see, one of them was another one of the Godborn.
Oh, that is not what I needed.
No, it is.
Which is
God, why
Descendant of Richmond.
I hate your everything. Why?
Descendant of what?
Richmond, under the deities of Regina, goddess of nobility.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
So you can figure out from there. Meanwhile, do people want to start rolling stats?
Yes.
So I've given the idea is they should have pretty decent stats. So I've given them some options. They can do a couple sets of 46, drop the lowest, and do 2 sets, and then choose one of those. They can do a set of 46, drop the lowest, except roll 10 of them and only keep the 7 that they want. Or they can just roll 21 d6s, reroll any ones one time, and then group all the 21 of those into the 7 sets of 3 dice. And then regardless of what option they choose, if they get end up with any 9s, they get a +1 to add to either that or a different stat, as long as it doesn't raise it above 18. If they end up with any 8s or lower, they get a +2 to add to that or a different stat, as long as it doesn't raise it above 18. So Beth, I know, is going with rolling 21 dice.
21 dice.
Because that was what got her to get to buy a new set of dice. Because she didn't have enough d6s
I was like, you
otherwise.
needed an excuse?
I always need more excuses.
There's a 1. There's a 1. Ooh, and you're stuck with that one.
It's okay.
Yeah, but she got a 6 and 4 out of it.
2 6s and a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots
There's
of 6s.
quite a few 6s in there.
Did pretty good.
Tempting to just, get some 18s, but you could also use them to help prevent...
I'm gonna sort them out currently so I can see what all I have. But I'm gonna keep doing this for a second.
Not to stack them all.
Yeah, these both suck. I'll take the other one.
Which one?
The one that lets you explode everything in front of you.
Oh, there was that one that Godborn.
Exploding everything
The
in front of you is an
war one?
option?
Yeah. The
Descendant of Aliosis.
Whatever the heck he is.
Yeah, one of the
Oh, those. Okay.
under the god of warfare, the one that basically has like a special power attack that just keeps powering up as he goes.
Yeah, the one that adds a D10 to damage constantly, because those. I'm not.
That's still constantly. It's not once per attack, but once per turn is pretty high up there in power level.
Yeah, those ones.
It's not sneak attack.
Son of the Soldier, you get proficiency in light armor, like everything else. That's great. Or the other one's like,
Well,
you get
that's
proficiency in shield, like everyone else. Great.
Those two are not factored into the power of those abilities if you looked at the abilities.
The abilities suck. You gain proficiency in a skill, and you get an extra fighting style.
So, an extra feat.
No, you get an extra fighting style.
Which is
Which could be a +1 to
comparable.
AC.
I mean,
Son of a Soldier is something you take if you're already a
I was
caster.
like, remember, for skills at least, a feat's worth 3 skills.
Yes, so you got that, plus at that same level you got a fighting style feat.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Considering you generally only you can't, because the thing is, the fighting style feats, you're generally going to take your offensive feat, and then you're just going to take +1 AC. Because you can't really use the other ones conjunctively.
Yeah, I think the best use of Son of a
this
Soldier
lets
is being a caster in here. Have some extra fighter and
But yeah,
or
it
other
was
stuff.
designed as the skill-based one, whereas the other one was designed as one to help defend allies around
It doesn't really help defend. It gives +2s.
Does
For your reaction. It uses up your reaction for a +2.
Oh, that's right, we're in new stuff. No more Hill Dwarf.
Which, that would be much better spent on getting Sentinel.
Okay.
No, it's just not. It is not very good. Comparatively.
What, do you decide how you're gonna
I
stack them?
don't. I still mathing. I have distracted.
Still mathing?
I'm sorry.
Did I get that one?
Do you need my dice for other people to roll? I
No,
can.
they've got dice right there.
Do we want to go round robin or just
Yeah, just whoever.
Okay.
Yeah, you're ready for it.
No. Can I get some scratch paper?
Yes. By the way, anyone who needs physical character sheet?
It's like, I'll have some on the computer, but I also like the physical.
I like having a physical copy.
There we go, sir.
For posterity.
Oh, yeah.
So the
You
soldier
either bop-
skill set gives you light armor, but its 11th thing lets you don and doff in half the time. With light armor, it's a single action.
Correct, but it is kind of assumed you probably have greater armor than that. It is a basic function. It is again, it's not powered based on that training.
No.
Yeah, it is definitely designed.
I thought he was getting the other stuff. Because I thought the idea of whatever background he was going to get was going to be the ability to get resistance to damage types, the ability to taunt people, and then the ability to protect a teammate somehow.
Yes, he didn't like that one. That was that
one's
was
not-
the divine one. That he also didn't like.
Yeah,
Original.
allies within 5 feet of you get hit by an attack. You can use your reaction to add your AC bonus for that attack,
The
or
AC
until the end of your next turn. 5 feet of yourself get a bonus. Yeah, so you get a +2 bonus from my shield from if you're within 5 feet of me, which means you've messed up terribly because you're standing directly next to the tank. And it takes up my reaction, which is very useful, and it sucks to lose. Bonus action, you get things that focus on you, and that means everyone gets disadvantage around you. Within 5 feet of yourself, or once again, so it's everyone is surrounding you, which is a bad idea. It's a terrible place for any of them to be.
It is designed for you to stay.
Anyone within 5 feet of you get advantage on Dex saving throws unless you're incapacitated. It's a bunch of everyone has to be standing directly next to the person who's supposed to be taking all the damage, which is a terrible place for any of them to be. It goes to 10 feet at level 17.
Yeah.
So no, it's just not very useful.
Yeah,
None
it is
of-
designed for you to be protecting people right next to you. That is true.
It's not useful.
Okay.
It isn't. Like,
It
you can
has
give me
use
weird
scenarios.
it's just, it's not very... It uses up all of your bonus actions and reactions, which are things that fighters need, and you get no benefits from it other than very, very minor things that the spellcaster or whomever is standing next to you is better off using their own abilities to fix, as opposed to using yours.
Well, you didn't let me know.
You didn't let me know. You know I don't look on Discord. This has been a conversation we've had several times.
We went over it on Discord before when we were talking about it, so you knew that I was sending it to you.
No, I didn't.
I then sent a message yesterday saying, "Did anyone need anything else from it?"
Did you send it on Discord?
No, I sent it through text.
Oh, yeah. I
The
didn't
same
see
text that I invited to everyone here today with.
Yeah, didn't see that.
Yeah.
I read the "We're gaming tomorrow" and then I stopped reading. That one's on me.
Do you assign your groupings?
I think so. I think so. Why?
She's the most scratch
Do you
paper.
guys need...
See, it figures we finally play a game where I'm playing a caster dwarf, and I can't take a mountain dwarf with a free armor proficiency.
Hey, you can take soldier and get light.
I might as well not. That mean that's a problem. If you take light armor, that means you're stacking dex. If I'm stacking dex, I'm not stacking my casting stats. Medium armor lets you get away with like throwing a 14 in there and not worrying about it so much. But we don't have mountain dwarfs anymore. I guess to D&D 2024, all dwarves look the same.
I mean, I made separate dwarves.
Did you already reroll your one?
Yes.
All half
And
dwarves
you got
look the
another
same.
one.
Yeah, he got 2 ones. He re-rolled them, and one of them became a 1 again.
Rude.
Well, you'll notice this is 8, 8, 8, 8.
So is that what 10s, or are you leaving some of them 8s?
Probably some of them 8s. I have to get my other casting stat up.
I mean, the tremor sense is kind of cool, though. It's better than old stone cunning.
So I'm guessing again you're just gonna all on there. No need for a folder or sheet.
Well, yeah, I don't have any spells. So.
Okay, so no.
Oh, yeah, it'll be easy to do on us.
Okay.
Yeah, they streamlined it. And I was like, technically it's better. But in this very specific situation, I would have really liked to have the free medium armor proficiency. That would have
Otherwise,
been really nice.
we want a folder.
Oh.
Color.
Well, yeah, I guess, sure. Fine.
That hurts my soul.
What? What? 18.
18, 18, 12, 8, 8, 8, 8, 10.
Hey, all those 8s are worth +2.
I know.
That's how he got his numbers up to what they
Oh.
are.
Oh, no. I was taking +1, so it would be 9, 9, 9. So
Not 9s are +1s.
Yeah, and 8s give +2s.
yeah. So I put +3 here and +2 there.
So
I
they're
still
plus.
have
The
three-
8s are +2. Not you can't split that. That's gonna be +2 to.
Now I have to rearrange so I have even
Yeah,
numbers.
for example, this here, you got 4, 5, 6, 8, you got a stat of 8 there.
8, 8, 8, 8.
That gives you a +2 that you
Yeah,
get
no,
to throw around.
I understand.
Yeah.
I have to do other math now because I have an odd.
Swap this 5 and this 4.
And that makes it a 9 and a +1.
Yeah, which means that 2 of the 8s can now go there and even that out, and the 9 will give you a +1 still.
Okay.
Yeah. Man.
I got these.
What you got? Yeah, 18, 15, 15, 13, 10, 9, 8.
After your buses?
I've not moved anything around. I've not added any pluses. Those are just
there
the
you go.
hard
So
dice.
you
Oh,
got, you
yeah,
got a
I
+2
also-
and a +1 then.
Yeah.
I
And
also
then-
got to
Can
remember
I
my.
split the +2?
No.
Okay.
You
They're
had
just
a
not
plus. And don't forget, you still get your background, which also gave you stats.
Well, that's what gets you up to the 20.
Yeah, that's how you get 20.
Because you can't put the +2 on the 18, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so then this is going to
No coming
stay
in the game with
8.
2 20s.
Yeah. Just a 20 and a 19. Or if I finagle.
No, you can't get a plus. Yeah, you could, yeah.
Yeah,
you
because
could
that
have
other
two
+1
and one.
can go to the other one you made 18.
Right.
Now, if my background were more in, I could double
So this
20.
is gonna be
But that's
plus
going over to charisma.
2. And then this one is going here, plus 1. And that's going to be Dex.
So do you still require all the dicey boys, or can I?
Have fun.
I've got dice if someone needs dice. Are you doing the roll 21?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to roll
I mean,
those dice, or do you want to roll different
These
dice?
are only D6s. I can't curse them that much.
Yeah, no, you're right. These are
And you get to
specifically
re-roll
for
all
that.
of your ones. Surely
And
it
then
wouldn't happen
I have
twice.
15 set aside in case you do really...
If you curse them, she could swap some of
I've
them out
got
for
some
future.
swapped out, so it's okay. I will let you touch my dice. It's
21.
okay.
Well, like I said, these are D6s. I couldn't curse them that bad.
Right.
What could possibly go
What
wrong?
could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
It's going to be charisma. This is going to be...
The thing is, I don't see a whole lot of 6s there.
No,
my
but I
God.
did roll like 9 2s.
So many twos.
Hey,
How could he do that?
hey, I rolled a bunch of 2s also. It's like, I didn't actually add up my totals, but...
Strength
Okay.
is Alexa stat.
I
right?
got
Only
5
one
ones.
one?
Yes.
I got 5 ones.
Yes, she did point out. Yes, we were all talking about 7 stats because I am using luck, which I did not do in the last campaign, and Bob did not do during his campaign, but basically all the campaigns before that almost, I have done a 7th stat of luck.
Okay, so
He
we're
likes
going
luck.
to do con here. Intelligence con. This is going to be luck.
I rolled no 6s on 21 dice. With
How?
4... No. On 25 dice, I re-rolled 4 of them. 0 6s.
Yeah, it's impressive, isn't it? I'm impressed by how poor he could roll.
Okay, so we got intelligence, con, luck. Is it wisdom? Is that what I'm missing? Wisdom?
Yes.
Yes, a full half of my dice are 3 or below. More than half. More than half.
Yeah, it's like, it would be
Of
one
my- yeah,
thing
of
if
my-
the 5s were balancing the 2s, but you don't have any 6s.
Okay, so do we get a
I'm really excited
plus
about
2
my stats.
per 8?
Yes. So in other words, he
So I
literally
need to
made it where
build
he
as
had-
many 8s
where he
as
had
possible.
3 8s, so he'd get 3 plus 2s, and he had a 9, so he'd get a plus 1. Correct. That is part of mathing and forcing things around with this. If you want to have either 10s or
Wonderful.
worse dump stats to make your other ones better, you can. And you're in a great spot to do that.
I'm going to get so many free stats.
Yeah, play around with those.
It's literally designed to make up for the fact
So
that you
many
could do
free
that.
Stats. So many free stats.
I'm used to the... Alan, I'm going to reprint it out their things, so you just throw luck someplace.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what?
just throw a luck
Okay, so
someplace.
1,
Where?
2... I have 3 8s.
Oh no.
Seems reasonable. I
Why
had
doesn't
4
he make
before I
your own
switched.
character sheet
I know
for
I
me?
need to make my own character sheet.
I have 3 8s, 2
You knew it
18s, and a
already?
15.
Yeah,
and
it's
a
a
12.
lot of work,
Yeah,
actually.
the fact that you
It's
had
a
2
raw
base
war.
18s is
format.
already hilarious.
You're so talented.
Formatting and kerning.
You
I got
make
it
me a
1-1.
pretty character sheet.
I have
Okay,
1
so
1.
Yeah, I had one.
But not soon. Maybe not this campaign.
I have
But
8 2s.
Okay, where are all the pencils at?
Here's one. Here's
They
one.
got taken out of the box over.
Okay.
Here's
I got
here's
one now. I have
pencils.
one now.
Yes, I had to give him the red one, so I had to get a new pencil.
Well, in my defense, you were using the wrong pencil.
I used to have a, I hid my pencil. I found my
Maybe
pencil.
up along this line up here.
8,
Luck.
Yeah. Pen in luck,
8.
and then you can write pencil in the score.
8. So 18, 18, 15, 12. 1, 2, 3. And then I can throw these 2s anywhere?
As long as it doesn't make something above 18.
And they have to go together.
Yeah,
I
plus 2
guess-
stays a plus 2. You can't make it 2
I
plus
guess
1.
that's
Yeah.
the best I can do.
Okay, so I'm going to do a plus 2 here, and a plus 2 here, and a plus 2 here.
So then my luck, I made it a 16. These might not be my full.
I guess I do have to use the sheets. Because there's no luck place on these things.
Yeah, it would just be a note on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way to math those stats into something better. My highest stat's a 14. If I put the highest numbers in it. No, I can get 15. I have 3 5s.
You have 3 5. You can have a 15.
Instead of a 14.
Yeah.
The problem is all them 2s. There's just no way to make that many 2s useful.
What does he get for a 6?
Nothing.
+2.
Unfortunate.
Well, okay, so you've got a 10 there. You
Oh yeah,
could-
yeah.
you could-
This gets me a 4. It gets me a 10, a 10, a 10, a 10, and then a 10, and then a 6 and a.
There's
7.
no
Okay,
luck on this
so
either.
what we need to do is you probably want
Yeah,
to switch some of those around.
He hasn't
So
Yeah,
you probably
yeah,
want to
never mind.
move
There's no luck on that
this
either.
2 to
Yeah,
there,
to farm
and then
those
get
out.
an 8.
Yeah, because
make
that's the bonus.
this-
So basically, I have to farm these out to 8s.
Make those an 8. Okay, so
The
now I
pro-
got 2 8s. And then,
10 and 8. Yeah, 'cause we're
because
gonna
9s
farm this out to
aren't
10s.
bad.
Alright, so whatever. We're definitely taking 6s because there's just no way really around it. What are we gonna do? We could do 2, 4. We could do 8s with 2 2s. 2 4. Gets me an 8. 2 2 4.
Because that one's a 10. Okay, that's a 10 and that's a 10. Those ones are
4
weird.
2s.
Okay.
That gets me 8s.
And that one's a 7. But if we bump it...
That gets me more 2s. That gets me an 8.
So you can move this one here. So that's an 8. And then that's actually a
12.
12. The 7. I need to steal something to fix the 7.
And he probably wants to at least put 3 of the 5s together, or 2 5s and a 4, so that you can get.
Yeah.
It is really astonishing how low
Needs a
he could
moment.
roll.
Needs a reroll.
Hey, this is the man who once played a character who didn't have above 12.
That is true.
Yeah.
I multi-classed the crap out of that.
Not only did he not have above a 12, everything was +1. He didn't have good stats. He just had, I am slightly above human average.
Alright.
What am I looking for now?
Otherwise you're probably starting to fill in details while we're waiting for them to
Okay.
keep filling things out.
Okay. I just don't have space. I was stressed. Okay, let's make it work.
So,
Coffee.
my final
I know,
stats
but
are...
Oh,
I
right.
I've not had time to drink it.
Well, I was going to move it away if it was empty. Are you done with this?
Yeah, I guess I am, because I guess it's not rolling anything anymore.
Yeah, no, our HP is set. Final stats, 8, 8, 8, 20, 19, 10, 15.
Wait, so where do I get my additional bonuses? Is that just from background?
Yeah, for stats it's going to be background.
Uh-huh.
Your background's
And
gonna-
maybe Heroic Catalyst.
Yeah.
I don't know if mine does. I can't remember. I'll have to look.
feel
Uh,
might. And it,
14, 20, 18, 8, 18, 10, 8.
Yeah, Bob just big swing in his, look at stat generation.
I like rolling dice.
yes, your Outworlder gives you a +1
Well,
to luck.
I got 6 sixes,
Sweet.
5
Oh, fuck.
or
If I
3
knew
fives,
that.
3 or
You made your luck an odd
and
number.
1, 2, 3,
I did.
4.
Luck
I got
16.
5 4s.
Yeah.
Oh, +1. Oh, yeah. Okay, move that +1. Okay, I read 15, but yeah.
I still got a 1
No.
though.
To be fair, at
do
level
you have
5,
any
you also get a
minuses?
+1 to luck.
Yeah, to luck.
But I could move it down to wisdom and just make that an even number.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it's, okay. I have to see what my background is. I'm looking at that. I think I'm just putting that into intelligence so we have a 20 somewhere.
Yeah, because you get either +1 Dex and Wisdom, or +2 to one of them and +1 to another.
Ability scores.
184.
184.
because you were scribe, correct?
Right.
So yeah, basically you get, for those 3 ability scores, you can either get +1 to each, or +2 to one of them, and +1 to another.
Oh. Okay, so +2 to one of them and +1
So like
to
probably
another.
+2 intelligence, and then +1 to either Dex or Wisdom.
Definitely not Dex. We're intentionally bad at Dex.
I'm bad at all physical things. I'm a sheltered book kid.
Yeah.
She's a really clumsy orc. She was a failure to both her mother and her father.
Yes, but I am rocking a +11 to Knowledge Arcane at level 1.
Okay, so are we just doing starting equipment, or are we doing money, or...
The starting equipment as written, you can choose either way.
So I'm not adding anything to my constitution, so that is staying a 17.
So I can choose either starting equipment or money.
Yeah, it
And
gives
then
you.
buy.
Yeah,
And you said my
and I think both your class and your background give options, and they each give you an option for how much money it gives you versus what stuff it gives you.
Yes.
Why do I have
Yeah.
310?
I will make this a 17, so that way it is boost.
Oh,
later.
that's why.
And then this will be
I looked at it
14.
previously. And I did that.
Because that will come from my outworlder. It gets me a +1 in luck, right? Is what you said?
Yep.
And my wisdom will come from my background. I'll bump it in intelligence and wisdom. So I'll just leave my wisdom as a 14.
Okay.
It doesn't benefit me to be a 15, and it's better to have my luck closer to a high thing, because I'll get more for that later. And then strength.
Where is the
staying
205 coming?
10. Charisma staying 9.
Oh, never
Dex
mind.
is
I'm
staying
dumb.
8.
It came from I am dumb.
Hate when it does that.
Yeah, I know, right?
So these are my, because you don't get anything from racial origins now. And
Not
you-
for
all
your
Right.
stats.
It's
That's all
background.
features.
Okay. Alright. That's what I was thinking for the new rules. It's just still not used to it.
Yep.
Oh, that's where the modifier goes. Okay, score 20.
Did you work it out? You still
Well,
math-
that gets me 4 + 2s, but it still does mean that if I want an 18 in a stat, the highest second stat I can possibly have is 16, giving me 3 negative stats.
I have 3 negative stats,
Yeah.
I
but
have
I
two
did
negative
manage to
stats.
squeak out 2 18s, so...
No.
My wisdom
I would have a
is
16, an
14.
18, and then 10, 8, 8, 9, 8. Yeah, 3 8s.
Yeah.
Wait.
I went in with
14
8, 8, 8, 9.
Or no, would that be 4 8s? Yeah, that'd be 4 8s and a 9. I would have 2 positive stats.
Reminder, with the Sorcerer's Origin and the spells it gives you, it's Charisma unless you have spellcasting, which you will, so
Yeah.
those will also
Yeah.
be done with Intelligence.
I knew that. I wasn't planning on dropping anything to con.
Yep.
Or charisma.
Charisma, yeah.
The other one.
Wait.
The other scene one.
Is 8 minus 2? Or
Wizards
is it 8
don't
minus
have any
1?
negatives
Just match one
to
level, stuff like
wearing armor if they're trained in it, right?
You have to be trained in it.
Well, will be.
8 minus 1.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
If you're trained, you can cast spells while wearing it.
Is
I am cleric. I didn't
Plus
take the heavy armor
3.
cleric, but I am a medium armor cleric.
Then yes, you are proficient with medium armor. You
Why?
may wear.
Why?
Because I
also
wanted to
minus
start cleric.
1.
Or why did I not take the heavy armor?
Yeah.
He was a
Because-
protector. He wanted the bonuses from the scholar.
Yes, that's the entire reason I went to scholar, so I can have a +11 at level 1 to knowledge arcane.
That lets him double stat his knowledge.
Well, yeah, it gives you your wisdom bonus to those
Yeah.
skills. That okay, so you actually wanted that one.
Plus
Yeah, of course.
3,
It's like I wanted.
which is a
I
7.
love
Amateur.
big swinging skill.
Yeah.
Okay, luck. Plus 3, which is a 17.
Very nice.
Hopefully, I remember that's not plus 3 17ths.
Yes, hopefully you remember that you don't get a fraction of a bonus.
Yeah, hopefully I remember.
Yeah, but this way I can, I will have medium armored and a shield.
Pleasure. So, Bob, did you finish your stats?
Yes.
Then Ryan may need that box. It looks like he has his own dice, so we can just dump those into the middle of the table. But
He will figure it out.
waiting on. What can he do?
Okay, so I'm scribe, so I get proficiencies in investigation and perception. Oh, and my speed is skill. I like this. Perception and investigation.
I could have 2 16s and a 10.
Oh, yeah.
Then I only have 4 negative stats.
I just realized.
And this is before counting your background, correct?
True, which will give me an extra +2.
Yeah. And a +1.
Okay, and then
Just remember, if that means that you get one of them at an odd, you will get an even out on here.
wizard. Give me wizard. So my primary ability intelligence. Oh no! Why did I think the wizard saving throws would be Constitution?
I don't know.
Sorcerers are.
So,
That might be why.
It's
Should I swap that?
What?
My
mules.
Constitution or Wisdom scores?
So they only have donkeys or mules in Legacy. They don't have it
No.
in 2024.
Okay, I mean, they do in the actual books, so I don't know. Can't deviate.
I mean, they have
But
draft
no, because
horse.
you still want a good constitution, so that extra +1 will still affect your saving throws.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it's
unless,
still good to have.
unless mule is under mule. Because a cart and a mule for Legacy is 18 gold.
So a mule is 8 gold.
Okay, so it is the same price.
Cart is 15 gold.
Ah, they raised the prices. Inflation.
Inflation.
Hey,
God.
to be fair, I am coming up in with 2 horses and a cart.
I don't know
Can I
you.
take physical proficiency in our...
True. So, we're just gonna caravan around.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they're coming to join you. You're the last one that gets picked up. At the start of this, I might go over each of their entrances, but we're really getting into it once they pick up you, the final member.
Yeah, because a riding horse is 75. Oof.
Or would that not make sense since we don't really have magic?
At this point, you already have... Yes, you absolutely can take proficiency in Arcana. Arcana is not just wizardry.
Okay.
I'm guessing the 2 horses I own are riding.
Because
I believe.
I already got investigation.
I mean, they could be draft.
and I
Draft's a lot
don't know
cheaper.
if she's very
Let me
insightful.
go zoom in and...
Yeah, it just you own 2 horses.
Nobleborn. 2 horses.
I don't have
Yes,
any
those were riding
weapons.
horses.
I don't have any.
You start with a wagon?
Actually,
not
no,
a
I think
cart,
the
but a
idea
wagon.
it not warhorse, but you can select either of the other 2. Draft horses can technically carry more, but they're not as fast. So, if you would rather get the cheaper ones, you can. But yes, riding horses is perfectly acceptable.
I don't know. Are there rules for hitching up draft horses to carts to move more, or is the weight stuff based on the cart? Or wagon?
I think-
I don't even get a cart. I get a wagon.
Yeah, either a wagon or a carriage. Yeah.
I'm choosing wagon. This is an adventure. I don't need to be a holy polloi. I'm just gonna get sick on the ride. With my -1 to Constitution, meaning I will have less health.
Yeah. So technically, what it is it.
Do I
By
get...
using the wagon, you're using their pull, like their drag weight, is what it allows you to do, which like multiplies it.
What about the fact that there's 2 of them? Is it just doubled?
Yeah, it would just be double.
Yeah. I did not know if wagon had any specific rules to go with it.
No. No. The wagon is how heavy it is, I believe is the difference.
Does it say how big it is compared to a cart?
Animal carrying a carriage, cart, chariot, sled, or wagon can move weight up to... Oh, it actually has separate rules. Move weight up to 5 times its base carrying capacity, including the weight of the vehicle. If multiple animals pull the same vehicle, add their carrying capacities together.
So it is, though. No?
Okay.
The idea would be a wagon has a cover, as is a carriage. A cart does not.
Okay.
Information.
What are you asking?
Do we take our starting equipment, or are we taking gold, or are we doing something else?
You can choose. You can choose yourself, and you can choose separately between what your class gives you and what your background gives you. If you want to take the gold from one and the equipment from the other, or vice versa, you can do that. Or both.
Can take both.
Yes, it is basically exactly as it is in the book. Starting, here's your thing, or cash. Here's your thing, or cash.
I'm going to take all the stuff.
Yeah, 3.
So much easier.
It includes some money.
Skills. What other tools are there to be proficient in?
Are you done?
Yeah.
I'll move it out of the way.
How do I find the tools that I can be proficient in?
Tools are on page 220.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the height of medium armor? What, scale mail?
Yes.
Oh no.
Medium armor goes up to half plate armor.
And chain shirts 13. Okay. So I'm rocking the low end at 13.
What?
Calligrapher supplies the ability as dexterity.
Mhm.
And eyes have bad dexterity.
While
You have
know
the
how to
training
write,
to make up for it.
Right.
it's like your hand's shaky.
Yeah, could never strum an instrument.
Yeah, basically, that means you get to add your proficiency to help make up for your bad dex.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I should keep my musical proficiency piano or go with like a violin. I think it would be hilarious if wherever we get to, I
You
have
only
to.
get one?
Oh, I specifically took skill to grab it.
Okay.
So I'm taking a music proficiency. Technically, D&D Beyond doesn't, for some reason, didn't consider piano a musical instrument. Because it assumes you would want to take this around with you and be proficient with it, and not have a baby grand.
What? I mean, what's the reason to have your wagon if not to load up a piano into the wagon? And have yourself a piano wagon.
I mean, that's so tempting to do that than buy another skilled hireling just to, play on the road our own traveling piano music, because I'm guessing pianos can be loud as F.
Oh, yeah, there's the thing.
Probably.
Just rolling up and down with dramatic entrance music.
It's the wizards. You always hear the wizards coming.
And then somehow we tie a bard up on a tower and have him shooting flames and playing a lute. Like Mad Max. Just flaming hands up the side.
Should I be proficient in a forgery kit?
If you die? Why? What? You're asking me for a reason. What kind of vibes are you trying to go figure out what works for?
Yeah,
Alchemy is an interesting take. You can brew your own health potions. I believe they have rules on just foraging. You still need like half the money, but it's something to do during downtime.
Someone else already gonna have that though, and that's boring.
I won't. Any of you? Yeah, mad scientist over there.
Actively said it already. Yeah.
All right.
No, it just felt kind of in line with calligrapher supplies. Same vibes, but different.
Jeweler's tools, which relies on intelligence, allows you to craft arcane focus, which would be like a wand or an orb or whatever the different focus that you would use as a
It's
wizard.
jeweler's too. You certainly couldn't use that to make a craft wand. You'd have to use like carpenter's tools.
No.
The
Carver-
jewelers would make the orb.
I don't know. Jewelry...
I mean, it depends on what that is. Because if you made a wand, which could be made out of metals,
Ah, there you go.
Or
with little jewel. Well, I mean, no, because those metals are going to be twisted, much like
fun.
making, you know.
yeah.
We'll do jewelers.
Or the it's just a normal stick, but the only magic part is the gem on the end.
And
You
wood
have to
carver's
attach
tools
that.
is another arcane focus one. It's dexterity based, which is why I didn't recommend that one for her. But that would be for making like the wooden wand or whatever.
Thank you.
But yes, in finale, I went ahead and might as well. Why try to diversify the suck? We went all in on 2 18s.
Where are you putting your 18s?
Intelligence and con.
It's a good place for him.
No. Con 8. I want con 8.
No, Constitution 8. And it's
And-
like if I wasn't tough, I
But
wouldn't
he's
be
also
anything
he's
else.
dwarf.
Oh,
If
yeah.
I wasn't tough, I wouldn't be anything else. My background, I took farmer as my background, which helped me juice that.
And then
Con.
I'm
And I have tough.
skilled.
How much HP do you have? I have 13.
And I'm
Like 7, I believe. I'm getting
And
minuses actively.
I
and I'm
have 13.
skilled.
And then is everything else
3,
what?
Yeah. 8.
Everything you got everything else
so
2 8.
1.
Yeah, nothing's below 8.
Okay.
Okay.
I have 4 8s and a 10.
Where'd you put your 10?
Strength. I took the farmer background.
Ah.
I took the farmer background. I had a +1 for a 9. Where am I going to put the 10? I mean, mechanically, it's better in dexterity, but shoot, we're theming now.
Yeah.
We're theming now. I was a very unhappy farmer. Use your magic powers. I don't have any magic powers. Use it. Feel it in your blood. What do you mean, feel it? Can you write it down? Can you give me specific instructions? What's the math formula for using your magic sorcerer powers?
A math-heavy farmer.
I was born better than all of you, through luck. So,
Luck is also 8.
Yeah.
Because I had to put those 8 somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes, I am scholarly, just so weak and feeble. And it's like weak, feeble, clumsy, all of those.
Well, so do that is like I could get these scores down to like the automatic reroll territory of low.
Okay, I get 2 more skills. What do I want to put them
Ah, right. I gotta pick skills.
Skills.
in?
It's like, ugh.
I think
Ugh.
probably grab inside.
I'm almost
So
disgusted
then I
with
get
this
1
character.
more. Because
Okay,
I
so you
already
figured
did the
that out,
tool.
okay.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's fine.
No.
So
It's gone
I'm
beyond
trying
that.
to
It's
prioritize
wrap around
most
to
of the
funny.
intelligence ones. But
No,
But that
that's
answers the
wanna
question.
grab
How
religion,
bad could
'cause I don't think she's
21
religious
d6s
at all.
possibly go?
Naya actively
could have
was
been
against
worse.
religion.
We're about
And I
to
think
say
that carried down.
Bob's
She's
rocking
like, I mean, sure, the
6
gods are powerful,
sixes.
but like,
Yeah.
in his
whatever.
drop.
I rolled 0.
Yeah.
How many do you roll?
And then you find yourself
More than 0?
3.
hanging out
I
with a
rolled
pair
3.
of demigods.
I mean, yeah, whatever.
Was it
I'm
more
not gonna
than
worship their asses. I'm not religious. She's not religious.
We're gonna add luck under enemies.
So I'm like maybe nature,
Uh,
but I don't really think she was.
Unless
a
Ryan
nature
goes for it,
person.
I'm going to probably end up the
And I'm like,
luckiest
did she
of the
read a
group.
lot of medicine books? But
Yeah,
then
oh,
I
yeah,
also
I don't
like
have
it just like I
Enough
don't,
stats to throw around to go.
and I
into
don't want
luck.
her proficient
Oh,
at anything.
how did yours turn out?
Charismatic.
I mean,
So not as bad as me and
I don't know
Austin,
what it
but
would
nowhere
be,
near as good as
but it's
Bob.
definitely gonna be performance. She's.
I've got an
I
8 and
feel
a
like
6
doesn't,
on
like,
my final
talk
roll
well.
up.
But like maybe could be.
Are you going to up that 6 by 2 or just let it run? Okay.
You know?
You might end up with the lowest of a single
It's kind of
thing.
like when she talked, you're like, oh no.
Yeah,
Give her-
that's
she-
just
she fond
so
of animals?
broken, sir. Well, you are a fighter, so that's fine. It's like
I don't get
I
any-
have 15 and
I didn't think.
And I don't get any
so.
bonus skills from anything
Oh
either, so I
yeah,
just have
and now I
4
have to
skills.
fill out the
Probably going
notes
towards
of.
the nature. Is it more nature knowledge or more survival?
Under notes.
And then she's a good long distance runner or something.
No.
And I
No,
need to fill out the
probably- she
notes
just
for
probably
the,
read a lot of
the
books about
ability
the
thing I
nature.
took.
Okay, 1 second.
I don't imagine she's good at being in the nature. She'd just be like, oh, I read about that flower in a book.
Mm-hmm.
She's bookish.
So we get a thing now.
She read a lot of books.
If you say so.
Yes, I do.
You do say so?
I do say so.
Okay.
As always.
So nature, areas of knowledge about terrain, flora, weather, and certain creatures like beasts, dragons, oozes, and plants.
Okay.
It's just there's more detail on what with the study action, what the different. Ryan, did you divide up your stats and figure that out?
Yeah.
What did you get?
Well, that's 17, that's 12, that's 13, that's 14, that's 6, and these are 8s.
So you get 3 plus 2s to throw around.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what are some other things?
That's about it.
Languages. You all, based on where the campaign at least is going to have, will have, and I can repeat this later if you need. You will all have the language Oramen.
Ordaman.
Or O-R-A-M-E-N.
Hold on.
What?
O-R... Wait, is that
M-E-N?
including me?
Yes, everyone.
Everyone.
It is what is going to be used as the common language for this party working together.
O-R-A?
Could I get the common pronunciation?
Ornaman.
Oramen?
Yeah, so instead of Oraman, you'd go Oramen.
Or a man.
Yeah, or a man.
Or a man.
Or a men.
Or a
Can you
man.
spell it
Yeah.
again?
O-R-A-M-E-N.
Yeah.
O-R-A-M-E-N. Alright.
Or a man. Yeah.
Or a man. Yeah.
Which is primarily spoken in and around the nation of Oramnus.
Is that one of a noble?
No, you actually have another different one. Let me double check.
Whenever you say the name of something, you add an accent and then you say it really quietly and I can't hear it.
Because you are in Jord. And so Jordtail, Jordtale, would be
J-O-R.
D.
He likes his fanciness and his
Well, I just need it. I need volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the accent. I need volume. Which is funny because normal talking voice
So you
is
would
very
have that.
loud.
Well, you
And
can
I
have
believe
one, but not the other. Guess
All
what?
of you get 3 languages. You actually have all of yours taken. You also, based on your family history, you would know Vid,
Vid.
V-I-D, and Sek2, S-E-K
Hold on.
hyphen T-U.
I'm gonna have to have you redo that.
Yep.
Because I didn't like how I wrote vid. Wait, again.
V-I-D,
I got vid.
and then S-E-K hyphen T-U.
T-U.
Yep.
Sectu.
Yeah, and those are because you're literally from a different continent, so.
Ha!
Are the other racial languages still just the name of their races?
There are no racial languages.
Okay.
You can have, if you don't have it needed, you can add +1.
To a
It's a
stat or
+1 to a language.
Oh.
You can get that. You can choose that language when it comes up later. If it's not already something that ties into your backstory,
So-
you don't have to choose it right now.
So for my background where I got 2 extra languages,
Mhm.
would I get +2 or are those languages taken up by whatever this is?
So you get 3 languages by default.
Okay.
So that would be
Your common +2.
Ornaman, the common in this, +2. For you, it would be +4 that you can choose because you don't necessarily have any. If you want to choose one of the nations that you're from, we can figure that out and you would know then the common tongue there as well. But for right now, you can just have
a quantum
Ornaman
language.
and +4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a quantum language that hasn't been checked
I am
yet.
doing because I am doing languages regionally because the racial division of language drives me insane. It is the simplest way to do it.
Yes.
Screw simple.
Hey, you've made a whole world. You're allowed to say my world uses these languages.
But because of that, I'm like, no, especially while the list is not complete. If they're not tied into your backstory so far, just have them to be determined, basically.
It's like,
I
who's to
had
say
mine
Elvish
tied
isn't
into my
regional? All the elves are in
background.
one place.
Technically, there is a dead language that is ancient Elven.
Nice.
Is it different from what her grandma spoke?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Different.
Yeah.
High elf.
And no, for her grandmother ended up languages translating over as they adjusted to the new plane of existence.
Did
Yeah.
she hang out at the inn?
No. So she went with you to the inn. We formed we formed the inn in Vida. Was where and it's like a Mediterranean area where they had like grapes and.
Well, I was looking for tropical.
Do you want to know?
There wasn't an option. There wasn't.
Yeah,
tropical.
I mean, yeah, it was
On
not on this continent.
Yeah, we'd have to
It went
trail
further up,
across
and
the
then you stopped before getting to deserts.
Yeah. And you're like, this is nice. So we settled. We settled in the Mediterranean.
Would you like to know the actual story of Octavian and Naya? Because she tied to it, I had to go into history.
Well, I feel like at some point I would have liked some input on that, unless that was on Discord too.
I mean, no, it's I took what you gave at the end of the campaign and I gave.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
but
because he wouldn't have married. He would have just run the inn and helped raise her kids.
Yeah,
That's,
couldn't
we
marry.
didn't, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't specify he didn't. But so
Like,
yeah, there's
they
nothing
didn't
specific.
get together.
No. I married her.
No, he would
It
have
was an
never.
asinine.
So Octavian and Naya traveled north from the Karanek foothills, where they first met the Nektuk orcs in the year 982. Until reaching the coast, they found a shabby encampment and a group of just over 150 people who'd traveled to the land on a pair of large sailing vessels. Settlers were claiming new land for themselves, making a new home, and while some were setting out to find land where they could begin humble farms and claim hunting grounds, many were banding together to found a town at the mouth of a river, which would eventually grow into the city of Amontes. Octavian and Naya joined with these settlers, making an alliance with a farmer in the area to get rye and access to yeast from a baker, founded the Fireforge Tavern,
For Fireforge whiskey.
where they brewed and sold Fireforge whiskey, along with whatever other food or beverages they could gather to sell as Naya entertained the workers at the end of difficult days. Tarkutin of the Nektuk Orcs followed the pair of them when they left the village, entranced with Naya's singing, and over time won her affections. They have 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. Their first child, Xanaphia, was born in 984, so like 2 years later.
And we're like full fanfic, aren't we?
I had to write the history because it goes down to what her character is, and I had to figure out the years. She grew in skill as a bard over the years.
Yeah.
In the year 1000, on one of her family trips to visit the Nektuk tribe, where, of course, father still had
Family and friends. Yeah.
Xanaphia met Nelmoon, a charming man skilled as an elemental monk, which became a thing within the tribe after Ryan's character. And in 1006, they were married. 4 years later, in 1010, their daughter Calliope was born, whom they had great hopes for, with dreams of her carrying on the magical and musical traditions that her family held.
Calliope literally means, like, beautiful voice. And she doesn't have a beautiful voice. Girl can't carry a tune.
I mean,
They had so many hopes.
And so it's he said it was like inspired by Greek. So it's just like, you know, like big Greek family, like around the tavern. Oh, you know, we had such hopes for little Calliope, but oh, poor girl, she just can't carry a tune. And then we hoped maybe she would be strong or like elemental, like her dad and her grandpa. But girl, she just keeps tripping over her feet, and it's just a real great big disappointment for all of us, really. But we love her. God bless her. And, you know, that kind
And
of
then
thing.
Octavian is just sitting there like, would you leave this poor girl
Well,
alone?
no, so I imagine she hangs out with him a lot,
Yeah.
and does like bookkeeping and like numbers, and she's just like constantly reading in the back, and like she'll write music sheets for them because she's got, you know, good penmanship. But you put like an instrument in her hand, and all of her hands suddenly you're like sweat and like fumble, and just like I can't hold it.
And yeah, so at the point where this is starting, it's like 50 years later.
Okay.
Octavian's dead.
He's not necessarily dead, but he
Well,
is
50,
old.
Oh, 50 years later from... Oh, no, yeah,
Yeah.
he's
He's just
in his
real
80s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he's
He's
just
old.
real
He's
old.
probably not really like doing the day-to-day running the bar at this point.
No, but he's definitely sitting with
I was
Calliope
going to
doing
ask, how
that.
old do Genastis get? I assume just human
Humanish.
age.
Yeah, everything's human now.
Yeah.
Well, except for elves. Elves live
Why?
Elves live forever. No, there's variances with it. Is it just a why D&D Beyond's doing a thing?
Yeah, I've added rapier, and it will not let me find rapier. I paid for it. I added it. It won't give me my sword.
I don't like D&D Beyond. It doesn't work for me. It makes me.
You also have a very old
I do have a very
Apple
old
tablet that probably Apple is wanting you to upgrade to a
I'm done
new
with
one.
that
Okay.
for the record.
That sucks.
Sorry.
It's not going to.
I was like, it's an Apple. Why would you have an Apple product if not to have the newest one?
Because I had it. I needed it for one of my early childhood education program. Said you're gonna need a tablet for this course, and then altered the course after we got the tablets to be like, actually, we thought that was kind of a dumb requirement, so you don't need the tablets anymore. But after we paid for them, so I had a tablet for my college courses, and then it was just kind of nice to have a tablet, but then it got put into storage because I moved in with my husband, and then we pulled it out of storage, and I was like, maybe it'll still work, and it kind of does, but it doesn't really want to do it. It doesn't do what I want it to do, so it's fine.
Let's see.
Wizard. I'm gonna be an evoker.
Of notable things.
Not yet.
Oh, you're right. I don't have to pick it now.
Yeah. Of
Not
notable
yet,
things
you are.
for you, Nick. The Doctrina Cloister is the monastery in dedication to divine learning, perched atop the Solitaire Mountain in northwestern Jord. The Grand Seminary, which is Store Seminar, is located in the river valley southwest of the monastery, and that's where you are.
Okay.
I'm in the cloister or the.
You'd be the seminary, the
What?
Store Seminar.
I
Store,
shouldn't say
as in
that.
a store.
STORSEMINAR.
I have a draft horse as a riding mount, so I do have a horse.
Yeah.
It's a slow horse.
Yeah, sounds great.
STORSE.
MINAR.
Bonuses plus 2.
But I bought a saddle, so I can actually ride him.
Yeah.
Unlike the unsaddled masses.
Yeah.
I have 2 military saddles
How do I figure out?
because my background was mostly cash and a hireling.
Do you have
How much
done
money
your
did you
equipment
start
yet?
with?
No.
You'll have to do your
I didn't
equipment
start
first.
with any extra
Okay.
But
money,
otherwise,
but
assuming
I
you
got
don't have any
2
equipment for
horses,
armor,
the wagon,
it is going to be
and a
what,
constant-
10?
I don't
paid
have any
for
armor
hireling.
training, so I don't think I have
Yeah.
armor.
So I have a
I've got a
footman
robe
who's going
here,
with us on
and I
adventures.
get some fancy clothes.
I had to wash my
So
genitals
with a
in the
minus 1
cold
dex,
river.
her AC would be, and no armor, her AC would be 9, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 9 AC.
There you go.
Hey, I have 15. Claire.
You're like, I want it to be strong.
Yeah, that's great.
Hey, you're a fighter. You're allowed to have 19, and that's completely reasonable. 19 is a reasonable AC for a fighter.
Okay, so
I would like to
so-
point out that if I was a barbarian, I would once again be at 21.
I have a question.
Yes, I'm going.
So there's no way for me to like buy a thing with the money that I wouldn't have enough money to try and buy a thing to boost my armor class. I'm just accepting the fact that I'm squishy and I've got a 9 armor class, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Because
Just making sure.
anything that you had to, you'd have to buy magic to increase it,
That's,
or you'd
that's
have to
kind of what I
get,
was thinking. Or make a magic item.
or you'd have to get, use a feat, something down the line to get proficiency with armor
Yeah.
or shields. Yeah.
Alright.
Another point of note is instead you can still just have allegiance to the traditional alignments if you want, but we're going to use the allegiances system. You can have up to proficiency bonus allegiances, which could be to the fundamental chaos of the world or to good, but it could also be to your family, to your friends, to the party. So
Country seminary and wait.
you
only get
you
two.
get 2 right now.
Yeah.
I use the allegiance area to fill notes in. That's where my luck stat is.
Yeah, your allegiance is to luck. Yeah, this is the god I worship. It's luck.
No, I have a -1 in
It's a
it.
D&D.
So do I.
Oh.
It's one of the many fields that got removed for them to make the sheet only a single piece of paper.
Oh, okay, then I don't have to write them down or worry about it. Cool. Okay, well, let's go back to doing.
So
So my hit
Yeah, you can put them in here. Right in that area.
alignment. Right.
Yeah.
my country of origin was Jord.
Yes.
Yord.
For
Yeah, is it Jord or is it a hard J? Jord.
I've been pronouncing it as a hard J, George.
Maybe it's Yogging.
Yeah, Jungerman.
how?
I don't know if it's a soft J.
Yeah. That would make me think of the German girl who's pronouncing wonder as Wunder.
Wunder.
Yeah, Wunder.
You still love me.
Yeah. Es un Wunderkind. Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, if you want to correct me on things.
Yeah, it's like level 1 characters. What do you got to do? Not much.
So
Oh, right. I have to subtract gold.
Hit points by class. Okay.
If you're buying stuff,
I did.
Was it 6 hit point?
Oh,
Maximum.
I forgot about that. It's like, well,
Yeah.
all of my saves and stuff are pretty terrible. My skills are pretty good, but I just glanced over at passives 16, 17, 16.
Yeah, that's
Huh?
good. That intelligence wisdom stack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got a -1.
Yeah, I have 16, 9, 16.
Yeah, had I better stats, I might have gone for craftsman instead of farmer.
Mhm.
And then you get a 20%
Yeah, it
discount
might-
on all
might supposed to be
purchases.
pronounced
Mundane
Zalvadora.
items.
But
But
who knows if I remember that or if I change it, because...
Pick an alignment.
No, alignment, allegiance.
Pick an allegiance.
the fire whiskey.
Oh, we're not. So you could be lawful stupid.
Yeah.
Like 10 plus wisdom. So my passive
Which is way
Perception
nicer than, you know.
is
You've definitely
chaotic
never heard
stupid.
of that tavern.
right. My passive
Oh,
perception
is it
12.
something to Matt Mercer's world, or?
No, it's not.
What?
No, the tavern that we were talking about with them,
Yeah.
yeah, that is on a different continent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've
Here,
been traveling.
Their tavern is down here. You're up here.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that could be one of her
It
allegiances.
kind of
Yeah.
depends on how big the whiskey trade got. Because if he if he went hard on the whiskey trade and he's producing a lot of whiskey, theoretically the very expensive imported whiskey he might have heard of. But it kind of depends on how good did Octavian do at making that whiskey.
He might have heard of the whiskey. He's not heard of the tavern.
No, he has no idea what the tavern is.
What's the name of the whiskey?
Fireforged.
Fire.
I took it off of the name of the city that they left in the old world.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, Octavian is just old man. He's probably not like decrepit or sitting by the fire.
Honestly,
The fact-
Calliope's allegiance is up to Octavian. It's not to her family. Her family pisses her off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's either
It's
like
too
Uncle Octavian, who's
For
been
sure.
Uncle Octavian to several generations.
Yeah, if nothing else, Octavian would have come to this world with the ability of Heroic Catalyst. Healing and other magics would have worked on him in his entire life. Those people obviously get up into the 80s and 90s.
Well, he was also a fairly high level
Yeah.
yeah, accomplished
fighter.
Yeah, they both were. Therefore, they hopped into a society of people that have came to settle a new land. And yes, oh, you've got skills.
Yeah.
Yes, join us.
Yeah.
Oddly civilized people on this barbaric landscape. Look at all these savages, barely even human.
Weren't they?
We have discovered this
No,
land.
we brought over the orcs. So the rest of the
Well,
town is...
some of the orcs were on the same continent.
Yeah.
Where they were traveled was much further north than that.
Yeah. We traveled for a while
Yeah.
before we finally were like, this is
basically
actually
travel
really
up to the
nice, and
coast.
I'm so fucking tired. Can we just...
Well, I'm just like, I wanted a jungle, and you're like, you're getting, this is it. You get
get all of
we're
trees.
done.
No, I'm like, I'm fucking tired. I'm done. I want home.
He's like, alright.
Yeah. We're settling.
I do
What
like
about
my
the,
little intelligence block.
What
11,
about those
7,
vineyards?
7, 7,
Did the
11.
random guardsmen come with me?
Okay, so
Because
Those
I
notes are-
saved a guardsman and a child. Did random guardsmen
so
come
my gosh.
all of the people, because you guys in that campaign getting the band back together. Check out the previous campaign. It's completely unrelated, but technically it is set in the history
It's not
of this world.
unrelated.
It is
Yeah,
not
no, it was
unrelated.
intended to be unrelated. You guys saved quite a few more people. Yes, so Ludwig Fable, the human former guard, was in his early 30s when they arrived. Traveled north to the same town as Octavian and Naya a few years later.
Oh, okay, so he came and found us.
Yeah, so he came and found you. To raise Seraph, the human child, who had been 7 for like 100 years, trapped in that mirror,
Oh, yeah, the mirror boy.
and gone insane, and who eventually gets into politics.
Of course he did. So it's
Oh,
literally me and my war buddy working at a bar together.
whether or not he actually ended up settling into the bar, but he's someone in town at least.
Yeah, he probably actually got married, as he doesn't have the level of trauma that Octavian.
I just think it's funny as a kid being in politics. Like, hey, listen here, young kid. No, you listen here, young man. I have lived eons you could not comprehend.
I
But
have
with
seen
nothing
the
to
void.
research of it, just stuck as his own thoughts for so long.
You want to talk about self-actualization? I'll tell you about
Add a
self-actualization.
D6.
The rise and fall of that pyramid.
Is it 4 plus con modifier, or if you just take the flat, or do
So
I
yeah,
go
level
roll?
1, you get as if you rolled next, and it should say that in your class.
Oh, I didn't know that. I tried to find it and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's always a level 1 thing, is you just get max HP.
Yeah, that's them trying to make sure that you at least
I didn't
don't
know
die to a
that.
cat.
How much HP
Hey.
you got, fighter?
So that's 9.
14.
7.
13.
Don't I get 9 then?
But
Just
it's like,
ro-
hey,
rocking
that
Max
makes
Con.
me feel a little... No, not Max Con. I couldn't afford Max Con.
Where did they put that? I'm assuming that's still the
I have
same.
18
I couldn't
con.
find it. I was
I
trying
also
to
have
read.
18 con. I get 10 plus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
'cause
no,
you're-
level
you're
1
at-
hit points
I'm
by
a dwarf
class.
with the tough
Hit point
feet.
maximum.
Oh,
Okay,
yes,
so that's what
that
this is
makes
telling
sense.
me.
Plus,
I'm like,
So they
plus
just made it
3
its
every
own
level.
separate chart.
I'm over here like,
Yeah, and
how
I
is
just got
this?
confused by
Plus
it.
3 every level.
If
Yeah,
I'm
you're going to
40.
actually overtake me.
No, we'll,
Alright, so 6
we'll
plus con
match.
modifier. My con modifier
Because you're
is
going to
3,
get...
so I
Oh,
have
you'll
9.
you'll
hit
get... no, it should be about it. I should
Because
be
I'll
like
get,
one...
I'll get, what, 6 plus, I'll get 10. And you'll
Yeah.
get,
I'll get like
1d6.
9?
So 4
My
plus.
4 plus...
Is orc
that's
just
7
normal
plus
speed of
another
30?
4.
No, because a 6 gets you a 4, right?
Yeah, so
4,
4.
so I'm getting 8. I'm getting 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna outpace
Yeah, you're going
Bob's
to
health.
outpace me on health.
There you
We'll match next level.
go. Yeah. I need to be tough. Why? Because I'm not anything else.
Unless I get more con.
Or take tough.
Well, when you
Probably won't
whatever
take that.
select money instead of the stuff for wizard, do you just get? Does the spellbook not have an associated gold cost?
I think it's 25 gold. For
You have to buy
spellbook.
one.
How much is it?
It's like
Let me check.
25 gold.
Hold on, let me check.
I bought a bunch of spellbooks previously in other campaigns.
That's why I'm checking this edition. I
Equal to...
feel like they might have kind of changed that.
Alright, so species
Spellbook costs 50
trait.
gold.
Oh, wow.
Take the items.
Yeah.
Is that 50 gold not counted into the other cash if you took the gold option?
The spellbook plus the scholar's pack alone is more than the money you would get in exchange. The spellbook costs money. It costs 50 gold. The scholar's pack costs 40 gold.
Does the thing on there give you the page that it's originally from by chance?
Well, I can click on it and it will take me to the item. Oh, those are Basic Rules 2014.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
The hyperlink leads back to that.
Kick dash is bonus action.
So as part of your class feature, your wizardly apprenticeship culminated in the creation of a unique book, your spellbook. You just get it. So no, that is separate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
spellbooks
so
are for you.
once I take the class, I will have created my own
Yeah.
new spellbook.
Yeah, you've been working on some
Yeah, I've
some
been
things,
taking
and then
notes
you're
and math.
Okay.
yeah, you have all sorts of math, and then
Okay.
once you get the last pieces from meeting these people that have done other things,
That's what I was kind of questioning, because spellbook doesn't seem to link to anything in equipment that I could find.
yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought they changed until he said money. I was like, what page is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Points.
They hyperlinked the new book rules to the old book entries.
Yeah.
How helpful.
Equal
I buy
to-
spellbooks because they are waterproof.
Oh.
So whenever my character has a book, I bought a spell book instead of a regular book. It was twice the price, but you couldn't say, well, it got wet, so they destroyed your notes. It's like, no. My notes are protected.
Oh, and for for me having a whatever alternative spellbook.
Mhm.
So I've essentially got to kind of like run the flavor by you to see
Yeah.
whether or not you're amenable to it.
Mhm.
Okay, could I potentially have essentially like a like a mirrored kind of a mirrored metal discus that I end up filling with magical sands that I'm able to essentially set into different formations in order to have different visuals appear on the mirrored surface when you're messing with it in order to reflect information for my arcane formulas and
So the idea of requiring a magic thing to access it is where I get.
well, okay, rare sands. that
Well,
have-
I mean, the point is like what because like only
You would have created this before you got the magic. Is the problem?
yeah.
Well, so it could be mundane. I'm just saying magic is.
Well, I'm trying to figure out then how it would work. Having like even, I mean, because you're specifically wanting sands based in the Mr. Sandman, like that kind of thing, like ties to dreams. Is that
something like that?
because because like mirrored surface, very easy enough for you to have it where you're etching it into, you know, a polished silver plate, and they're really smaller than they would be in taking up a book. That's fine. But then the sands aren't really playing a part if that's all it is.
Well, I figured that would be the sands would be the thing that I would end up filling the whatever the hollowed part of the metal discus with in order to add new spells to my book in a sense. Like that would be what would be required is essentially the instead of inks I would be adding some sort of rare kind of sand to the device.
Okay, so not sand that you pour on, but sand that you've like basically embedded grains of sand into. Probably at this point, you know, a couple and growing of sort of almost like metal plates that you're etching your enchantments into by like embedding the sand into it. Almost.
Either that, or it could be one of those things where I actually grow like little crystals upon it.
Mm-hmm. But where it's stationary on these metal plates. Then sure.
Yeah, as long as someone could theoretically grab it and eventually decipher it.
Yeah.
Versus this wipes away and it
And
just
then you
magics.
forget it. Yeah, then you don't have it either. Is my point. Yeah. So as long as it's once the sand is in there, then yeah, it's permanent. Then sure, that works for me.
Are you going to have trouble finding the sands? Because, you know, ink is just a thing you can buy.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, it's like I can have the mirrored thing with the whatever.
He's still able to do it with ink
Oh, that gives me
in a
23
pinch
gold
if something
pieces.
becomes difficult, and then later transfer it when he gets them if
Oh.
needed.
Or,
So.
or if I'm growing like little crystals on it, I can
Interesting.
use it as a. I can use ink in order to use it as like the feeding medium to make them grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Just one in different vibes, sure. Does anyone want to roll for trinket?
I already rolled for trinket.
I'll roll for trinket.
What'd you get?
Dragon blood. I was like, fitting.
Yeah,
When do I get a trinket?
Same place you did last time.
Yeah, D100 table.
Well,
It's
what
before
set it
character.
again? Oh, D100.
Mm-hmm.
Do your fancy one.
I got a 31.
31. So, that one's probably gonna be there.
Oh dear.
So, probably go with a silver badge that is a 5-pointed star. Or if you'd rather have a bouquet of funerary flowers that
Is that
always
the
looks
old
and
book?
smells fresh. No. This is the
Raven
horror
Hawk.
book.
Raven
I'm like,
Hawk.
if you'd rather get a different one, what'd you get?
I'm going to go with
86.
Silver Star.
Yeah.
86.
86.
Almost. That's almost dragon blood.
An empty silver snuff box bearing the inscription "Dreams" on its lid. Ooh, hold on. Or a green ribbon designed to be worn as a choker. So unless you want that aesthetically, just something like of your parents' like dreams for you, and where they'd written little things that you've thrown all out and stolen from.
Yeah, because it all said beautiful singing voice.
Can play instruments, can harness the elements.
Like where they set like on like your nightstand or like your headboard, like their dreams for you, and just all the things you didn't live up to that you've burned or tossed
And there's
out.
just one that just says, is happy. In a different hand.
Just throw that.
It's Octavian's handwriting.
Octavian just wants you to be happy.
Octavian is she calls him Grandpa. Like,
Best uncle.
like
I
no, she
forgot
doesn't
having
call
native
her.
Dex, unless I'm in heavy armor, still gives me a penalty.
She calls everyone else by their
Oh
first
yeah,
names.
you still get the penalty. Everything. You just don't get it to AC.
Unless she's literally addressing
Well,
them
that's what I'm
because
talking
respect.
about. AC.
But then calls him Grandpa.
Heavy armor?
No, we got
No,
Gramps
medium
over
armor.
there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was
Gramps.
like, heavy armor just tells you what your AC is.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's
so
the formula?
Hold on.
It's 17.
I have to write that
But
somewhere.
what-
That's vastly
no.
important.
17.
Yes.
Where's the
Even
trinket
with my
go
medium
again?
armor and shield, I'm rocking a mage armor 14. Or at least I think mage armor is 14.
It's 13, isn't it? I thought Mage Armor was 13 plus Dex.
An empty silver snuff box bearing the inscription "Dreams" on its lid.
Yeah, I'm
Snuff
definitely...
box away if you're not familiar.
Yeah, it holds
Yeah,
finely
13
ground
for Mage
tobacco
Armor.
that you snort.
Wait,
It was the weirdest trend that was very popular for a while.
What?
19.
19.
Box bearing...
So, a pipe that blows bubbles,
nice.
or a noose that feels heavier than it should.
Come on, bubbles. Clearly, how else can you tell people elementarily, my dear Watson?
You're like,
You are currently out of school.
With
No,
your
you're
bubble
looking
pipe.
at him like, I really need you to take me seriously.
Doesn't say you have to put soap into it, so that could be a minor, like, magical thing. That it's,
Yeah, no, I'm thinking.
You blow the bubbles out to wash your hands with?
Yeah, obviously.
It's like,
what?
it is something I scrounged up a little bit of side cash to buy to study its magical effects.
What's an 89 get you in the horror setting?
89 in the horror. A copper ring with "mine" engraved on the inside.
Mine.
Are you
She
secret
is
married?
mine.
She's mine?
She is mine. Mine.
Mine? This boy is wearing a
that
fancy
is the-
dress.
If you didn't know, he's a seagull.
Dreams.
If you didn't know.
This boy is wearing a fancy dress.
No, I'll keep the
Yeah.
Drugan blood. The Drugon.
Snuff.
37.
37.
Ugh.
Either a weightless stone or a wolf's head wrought in silver that is also a whistle.
There's
A
also
silver whistle that looks like a wolf's head.
Oh. No.
Yeah, I mean, like a silver. Yeah, I know.
Wrought in silver. That works as a whistle.
Exactly. Makes dogs bark.
So, is this silver star badge like looks like an old sheriff's badge, or is it like a medal for valor kind of thing? Because I have a story for both of those.
I feel like, given the backstory, you have a younger brother that's a prodigy that you're joining this wizard troupe to pay his tuition. Probably were not previously any sort of sheriff, so probably some sort of honor medal that something brave that you've done else, because this is that's obviously within your character to step up to help for others.
Yeah.
And so it's probably just from some other time that you've done that.
I was doing that, then I was thinking, well, there is a fine tradition of soldiers going to the bars in towns and, causing a disturbance, and then whoever their platoon leader is trying to get them out of trouble, and occasionally beating the ever-loving crap out of whoever the guards are who are trying to take them into prison, and then running off. And it would not shock me if such things happened, and then one of the soldiers went, "Hey, I got his badge for you," and he just went, "Give me that. You're gonna get... No, you can't have it. Give it to me. You've caused enough problems for today."
Otherwise...
All right, fellow wizards. So, what did
Hello, fellow children.
what did people pick as far as their skill proficiencies?
All the intelligence skills, all of them.
I didn't pick religion because I'm not religious.
Also, insight and perception.
Also, insight and perception.
So we got some overlap here.
Hey.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm just better.
Oh no, she actively hates religion.
Oh, no, not that. Just at the other things. Like, I get plus 11 to arcane.
I only have 4 skills.
How do you have plus 11?
That's what he's doing with his
Expertise.
cleric thing.
Oh.
No, not expertise.
Expertise comes next level.
Yeah, expertise
When I
comes
become
later.
a wizard, I get expertise in arcane.
Yeah, the
How?
best bonus I have is a plus 7.
Clerics get to,
They get to add their wisdom.
and intelligence.
Oh.
But wizards don't get expertise at level 1.
Maybe it's level 2. But they do get it.
Yes, they do get it later.
Yeah, I was like, I don't get expertise at level 1.
And 2 stats is not the same thing as double proficiency bonus.
No, technically, it's more. Not until like level 17 or something when it hits 6.
Which you're pretty close to getting capstone at that point where you get...
And what do you have that
Yeah,
in?
scholar.
Is it Arcana?
Arcana and
You get plus 11.
religion.
Or, Arcana and religion.
Got it.
I went to a seminary and learned about magic and God and how God did magic.
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah,
I've
okay.
got animal handling, arcana, medicine, and nature. All 4 of them. Because that's all I get.
So
I'm
far,
not even
survival is
particularly good
the
at
only
most of
wisdom one
those.
that's not covered. We have no charisma, dex, or strength ones. What'd you get?
I have acrobatics, athletics, insight, intimidation, perception.
Intimidation, there's at least one of the charismas. I'm rocking a plus 0 to charisma, all those skills.
Should I move
Minus 1.
somewhere
No.
around?
Minus
Minus one,
1.
Minus
It's
1.
your
Minus
help.
1.
What?
Charisma.
Mine's minus 1.
Charisma is plus 0.
Hey,
So,
Note for our NPC, who already was leaning towards. Well, he's the one that is going to probably do less, but set up more.
He's all set up. He got a whole bunch of
are
nerds.
plus 0s and minus 1?
Yeah, he's got to be the charismatic one that's getting. There's a reason he's gathering you all together.
Just a bunch of socially awkward people.
So you
Nope,
follow
I'm,
me.
I'm
I'll-
a normal person. I am not socially awkward. I'm at a 10.
I'm socially
That's
awkward.
perfectly normal.
True.
I'm actually
also
so little.
at a 10.
Like I think 8's normal.
It's
I
like
mean, 10 is basically the standard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am only at 10 because they put noble training into me to get it up that high.
See, she just is just a little bit awkward with talking. She's just like shy. So it's not like super awkward. Like she can talk, but she's better at writing it.
Family trauma where they're like, her voice isn't that pretty.
Constantly being told that she just can't carry a tune. And it's like, you could
And
just,
then
you know,
there's
you can
Octavia to the back going, advocate for yourself, girl.
she just constantly retreats. So I'm hoping to actually boost her charisma as we go along. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
No, that's the best
Becomes
epilogue
more confident
for
in herself.
The best epilogue for Octavian is he becomes just grandpa in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Glad you're happy.
Like that's all he ever wanted was just to hang out because he was abused as a child because he wasn't the correct kind of
I guess
barbarian.
that's not too bad.
He was dex based, not strength
See,
based.
and it's not like an actual abuse, but it is. It's like emotional damage.
Yeah,
It's
And that's very much you had the exact same kind of thing that
Yeah.
yeah,
for a totally different.
yeah. And Octavian's like, "How about you leave her the fuck alone?"
And Naya's, I think it more comes from her mom, if we're being honest. Naya's like, so the girl can't sing. You probably shouldn't have put that name on her. But also doesn't really help.
I feel like Naya is so tied up with like performing still.
Yeah, honestly, no, she's glamming it
kind
up.
of. She might have been a decent mother, but she's kind of a neglectful grandmother kind of thing.
Yeah, like I don't think she has much of a say
Because
in
she
it.
got to upgrade to the proper Elven does not die.
Right.
Yeah.
Because as her
Yeah,
soul
she
moved into
doesn't
this
die, she
realm,
doesn't
her soul
age.
is not an hourglass.
Yeah.
Her soul is but a bowl that
Yeah.
the sand sits in. So
Yeah, and I think Octavian's the only Genasi. Because he was an air Genasi.
I mean, there are the plain touch. There are plain touched in though.
Yeah, but not like an actual Genasi.
Yeah, the Genasi would be a type of plain touched.
Remember, we made him put in all the
Yeah, you went in
Planes.
all of the species, and they are not one that is animalistic based or the machines that are coming later. So yeah, there would
So
be.
does he age normally still then, or does
I
plain
did
touch
not.
change
I
for-
he would least be as long lived as
'Cause
humans,
I would-
if not a little bit.
I would
longer.
assume humans just went to those other planes, lived there long enough to adapt, and are still humans, right?
It's not been determined yet.
Yeah, as far as the actual age hasn't, but
I mean, it doesn't
go.
really matter. I'm just curious about Octavian.
Curious. Let's see if we go
I'm still trying to
into-
figure out my equipment. That's what I'm
Origins of
trying to do, you
World.
guys. Stop distracting me.
I have different spell DCs. This is going to be bothersome. My wisdom's not at 20 yet.
Oh, because of yeah. Okay.
It's real easy. Don't cast stuff with spell saving throws with the cleric.
Well, it's Sacred Flame, basically. It's the only thing I have from over there.
No, that would be spell attack then.
Yeah. No, it's a Dex
Alright.
DC.
So here in Origins of the World, Ignis continued proliferating peoples, making little giants among men and the kobolds from dragons, doing what she could to redeem her brother's hasty creations. She provided that gnomes may find companionship with mankind bearing halflings, and she let that genies who made their homes in the elemental planes could lay with mankind and from them be born the elemental plane touched. So they are basically half genie, so they're probably a little longer lived.
So, Octavian had an item
Mm-hmm.
that he would have probably passed on. Ironically, also a spell focus. I don't know if you want to let her have that or not, but
Give her the wolf stick.
no.
No, it's a orb of direction.
Yeah, it just points north.
It's an arcane focus that points north. It's a common magic item. Anyone care if
She's fine.
yeah.
Common magic items are cheap.
Yeah, I
You
know.
can just buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
It's like-
that's what Octavian used for traversing. That's his compass. So when you were going
So
off
probably
on your
what- yeah.
adventure, he went, "Here, take this with you," and it hilariously is an arcane focus. So when you become a spellcaster, you're like, he gave me the secret this whole time.
I love it. I'm stealing it.
Any other questions, comments, thoughts about making characters? Or are you just writing the rest of the stuff down?
Yeah, it's like we're level 1. There's not much to do.
Yeah.
I have spells to pick. There's so much to do.
We're not gonna. People can find out what spells you picked out.
As you cast them.
Yeah.
And you were fine with me taking the arcane focus of the mirrored gauntlet that can't actually hold anything when I'm using it?
Yeah,
Is
where basically where your focus is broken apart onto a glove for more or less.
Yeah.
But yeah, you close
Okay.
your hand in order to make a fist and
yeah, it's
to
like,
form the rest of it. Yeah.
Can't actually use it for anything else when I'm using magic, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's as long as they haven't taken off your glove, it's at least at hand. Drop whatever,
Does
and
it
it's right there.
require attunement?
No,
No.
it's literally
It's an arcane
like
focus that points north.
something that fits in the palm of your hand and points north.
Lovely.
It's one of those little orb compasses, but it's also a glass orb, therefore an arcane focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my alignment. How do you spell Octavian?
But yeah,
Well,
that's what it looks like.
Like to
if you
spell it
don't
out.
see
I
the
don't
actual-
know. Like
Um,
Octavian. Like
for-
Octavian.
yeah,
OCTAVIAN.
yeah.
for languages, does sign language still exist?
There probably would be sign languages places. There would probably be multiple different sign languages, and is in some of the other.
Is anybody else interested in learning sign language?
Yeah, and don't bring up the
Presuming
fact
we're
that
still
you
in
went
a
off
mostly
and, as his
medieval
favorite
setting,
little
sign
granddaughter,
language is
and
code,
he
not
gave
actual
you that
ASL.
as opposed to the
There
cloak of
would
protection.
still be like essentially the Thieves' Cant and Druidic would both still be languages.
Yeah.
Those two I will leave.
But that's the point. You gotta remember, like, old sign language wasn't like ASL talk to people language. It was convey information silently languages.
Well, does anybody else want to take convey things silently language?
No, why would I do that? I dig dirt for a living.
I'm not allowed to take any more languages. Mine were preset. I built myself too much into the world.
I don't think my noble-born person would take one, but I do have a quantum floating language. But I'm probably not going to be that.
Alright. I would only take it if anybody else was going to.
Yes.
Does Draconic still exist?
No, it's a race language.
No,
No,
race
no.
languages exist anymore.
Yes. Welcome to You Have a Quantum Floating Language, Ryan.
Yep.
When something speaks and you want to be the one that understands it, you can just say, "Well, yes, that is actually a language I know." And then you, what language was that? Let me write that down in place of this +1.
Or my +4.
Well, your +1 would just go to +3, and then There's technically it's 4 separate floating +1s.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, well, of course, subscribe if you haven't. If you've watched all of this, then you've got to stick around to find out the actual campaign starting. This is just us figuring out.
This is a contract.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's like, so why are you watching us sit around and joke around making characters if you're not gonna?
Yeah, just put
See
it
how
on
things
mute,
go.
put it in the background. It's fine.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.
Bye bye.